What's that, SOJ? We're gonna take it back to Motown. Flashback. Where my background singers at? Come on. Yeah. That sounded good, ladies. One more time, come on. Yeah, that sounded beautiful. Y'all go ahead and sit down. I'm gonna take it from here. I got some stuff to get off my chest. I never thought this clever walk was spark. Sever thoughts, conquer demons I fought. Serious onslaught, slave sold and bought. Never forgot or forget. Noose lassoed around the neck, the nature of the threat. From the days of old, I was always told to fear God and everything would be straight. And don't hesitate to speak truth and never be fake. I listened, but still drank from the vine of poisonous grapes. Relax and meditate, I'm being the Israelite was my fate. It broke down the gates, grace and mercy cracked the vault. The Lord took me in and accepted my faults. Sacrificed my life for what I was taught. And wouldn't have it any other way, and that's real talk. I was chose out the world to be a biblical nerd. A soldier for my nation, gatherer of the 1/3. Anything else is straight absurd. A prophet of the curb to get to your nerves. Come with that foolishness and watch you get served. And who would have thought that Kano or Mr. Legit would be teaching the scripts? Everything I learned till now is ridiculous. The world is hideous. Some think I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious. Truth is, religion got you delirious, and lies got me furious. Throughout the hour, but showing me from what's true and what's false. Running from my past and trying not to get caught. So keep up. Yo!
All right, baby. Listen close. It's serious. Send up prayers to the Lord. Speakers, pitches, mics, and chords. Spikes and fringes and moving with force. About to make love to the whole Crenshaw section. The words of protection in the form of correction. Lessons of life. You think it's trite now, baby? Wait till later, it'll kill you. Warfare unfamiliar to the Gentile mind. Time for blue collar crime. Israelite collected taxes and fines. Take angelic form or become extinct with mankind. I'm like the young David in his prime. Israel defiant American Goliath. Who killed Cyrus? Christ about to kill all you viruses. Prophetic writings, end time sightings. Check it when you see your bling bling floating downstream in New Orleans. Baby, it's time for you to get a plan B, baby.
Sing to me now. Yeah. And the angels say what the angels say. That's the sound I love to hear. I know you chose me, but I don't think you understand. You think it's all glamorous, but let me let you know what the life is really about. Yeah, we be that chosen few. Many are called, but the chosen few. I'm straight down on the block in a robe and jewels. I heard the voice to my rose and I call the truth. Now, ladies, when they see me, they get hotter than bitch streets. But I'm on a mission so they can just miss me. See, I cut your boys like players that miss me. Dying, dropping these pearls on the corners that hits me. See, I'm time to sleep, almost time to reach. We be the first of the sheep to awake from the sleep. Got shows and in the roles to expose the foes. Time froze, and I suppose I'ma blow the flow. I'm on a mission with intention to the razor. All the lost tribes for the skies blaze up. I praise God, I was chose for the shake up. I got draped up, waiting for the break up. Wake up.
Here we go. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While Yahweh Shah, it's your brother Ahmath. I inquire first name IQ. It's all the same. Shalom and salute to the saints that's in the house, man. DSTM, don't shoot the messenger. You've reached it. Yes, another episode. All praises. Prayerfully, everybody's well. Shabbat shalom to the family that's in the house. Let me make sure I salute the brethren and the sisters, the Akim and IQAhmath in the house. Yerah in the house. Shalom, shalom, shalom to you from Egypt to Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yashar Barakatah to you, my brother. I'm assuming. The Quab in the house. Shalom to you, right? Kohav in the house. Shalom, shalom. Bayan Shakal in the house. Shalom. Brother Ron in the house. Ashar in the house. Shalak in the house. Oh, there you go. There's a car in the house. Shalom to you. Right? Good seeing you and the family last weekend, man. Rosemary, all the way out in London. Shalom to you, my sister. My brother Aladad in the house. The Eldon, Rashaf in the house. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Anybody I missed or haven't acknowledged yet, shalom to y'all, man. All praises for tuning in to another episode, man. You already know what time it is. Event-packed day today. Lord willing, we'll get some edification out. We're going to get to the bottom of this thing, man. What's going on with this damn place known as Babylon, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All of the above, man, the place of abomination, man. We dwelling in it, man, and they just had two of the head snakes, two of the heads of the Hydra, two of the demons, man, barking and foaming at the mouth at each other. What was it? Thursday? And we're going to discuss some of it, man. Some of y'all may say, why? Who gives a dang? It's America, Babylon. We don't care. It's going to fall anyway. Let me show you where you're going wrong at by not being wise in checking out your enemies, right? Shalom and Mama Khan in the house. Oh, Genevieve in the house. Shalom, shalom, my sister, all the way out there in London again. Shalom to you. You and the sisters, man. Hopefully y'all are well. Let's get to it, man. Let me give you a reason why I watched the debate. Because I got to report it. I'm over here, doing my DSTM thing, so I gotta be in and out. I gotta find out what's going on here, there, everywhere, and try to bring it to the fam, man. So my responsibility is to try to stay on top of things so I can deliver them. But let me share my screen. Let me show you why it's important to stay on top of these things, man. Number one, let me share this quote. If I'm coming in clear, everybody's with me, throw a 7 in the chat. Also, if you care to watch the debate, put a 3 in the chat. Let me take a little survey. If you care to watch that debate, because you can see that's part of the title, man, the aftermath of the debate. Meanwhile, they're barking at each other, man, and slithering their tongues at each other. Russia is planning revenge on America because of a terrorist attack that they suffered earlier in the week. And much more we got to discuss, man. So, okay, 7 sounding good. 3 in the chat if y'all watch the debate. Or at least, may have seen some highlights of it or, cared to even check it out. Before I spoil some stuff, right? 3 in the chat if you paid attention, or if you just say, hey, you know what? I know IQ is probably going to talk about it, man. I'll wait. I'll wait till whatever you got to say. Hey, man, don't follow me. Don't follow me. All right, so a few 3s up in the house. Okay, no problem. Let me show y'all something, man. Let me show y'all something. Yeah, Khan. Rosemary, there you go. All right, so a couple of y'all watch it. Okay, no problem. So let me share something with y'all, right? First of all, I believe I'm still sharing. So let me double back. Maybe not. Schlocky. Okay, so let's check this out. You can even get some wisdom from the heathen, man. This is a quote from the book The Art of War by Sun Tzu, famous military strategist, a general, right? Bestseller book in regards to wisdom of war. If we know the scriptures say, yeah, we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places, according to Ephesians, the 6th chapter, 12th verse, right? No question. But much of our battle is mental. Much of our battle is intelligence gathering. Much of our battle is not only spiritually within ourselves, battling the flesh, battling to repent, battling to stay on track, stay to due course, as my elder, Sha'ath always says, staying on balance, with our devotion, our faith to the Most High. But here we are engaged in a battle in the spirit with our enemies. We're engaged and we're behind enemy lines, being held captive throughout the four corners of the earth by the nations, in particular the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, right? He is our enemy. The Lord gave it. He told us that we got enemies. All right. Before we go there, let's get the famous. Let's get the famous. Deuteronomy 28. And we'll get right to it. Just to prove the point that we have enemies, right? Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Most High Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So the children of Israel did not go into Egypt again into bondage via ships as a whole nation. For the Christian apologists who run out there and say, hey, you guys did go back into Egypt under Rome, man, in slavery as a nation. This did not fulfill that prophecy. This did not fulfill the judgment, let alone the Most High said that his judgment is like a ring, meaning it's 360. It constantly is rotating. It constantly repeats itself. These were the punishments that was laid down for the children of Israel if we broke the commandments of the Lord. No matter what captivity we was in, this was always going to be the punishment. So don't let Deuteronomy 28:68. Yes, as a nation, this applies to the transatlantic slave trade and the cross-Atlantic slave trade with slaves from the indigenous tribes that was here in America going back to Europe, as well as us being taken from the coast, the west coast of Africa, the Gold Coast, being transported as slaves on them slave ships. Yes, this fulfills that. We're talking about as a nation. Why? Because the Southern Kingdom was the only ones who was here remaining as a majority during the Roman captivity. The Northern Kingdom was already gone. So that's not, you can't try to use that and say Deuteronomy 28 has already been fulfilled. That's Israelites are out there misinterpreting the scriptures. No. The Lord's saying we're going into another captivity by way of ships. Continuing on, it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. Oh, so the Lord is acknowledging that we have what? Enemies. Whether you like it or not, I like it or not, doesn't matter. The stage has already been set, right? The players have already been chose. The game is underway. You can't sit back and say, I love everybody. I want to get along with everyone. The old Rodney King, for y'all to remember the 92 riots. Can we all just get along? No. That ain't how the Lord laid it down. He said, well, we're over here, man. People are not going to like you. People are going to take advantage of you. You're going to have nations that are going to conscribe and come against you. According to Psalms 83, they're going to conspire against you to try to wipe you out. That the name of Israel shall no longer be in remembrance. Remember that? Ye shall be sold unto your enemies. So-called black man, Hispanic, Native American, you've got enemies here, whether you like it or not. You can run around, hold hands. You can go run to the polls in November. You can go and think you're going to change things, man. If you could forget about it. Because the Lord laid it down. He said, man, these people ain't your friends. They're your enemies. I made them that way. I put them in that position. And what was your enemies going to do? Sell you for bondmen and bondwomen, meaning slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy you. It's not a contradictory statement. They're not talking about no man's going to purchase you, because it just said you're going to be sold. It means you're going to not, no man is going to be able to redeem us or to save us out of these particular curses. Why? Because the Lord put us in it. So who do we have to return to for our redemption? You guessed it, Yahweh. And how did he give us that pathway? Through his son, Yahweh Shai. That's how we're going to get saved up out of here, okay? Went through all of that diatribe to say the enemies is what we have to study. So, getting back over here to the quote from the Art of War book, and we used to, this was mandatory reading, man, for brothers in the soldiers program. When Rhyme and myself was running the soldiers program and raising up the men, all throughout the time of our teachings, we always had mandatory reading of this book. Because you had to get into a strategic mind state of how to attack and how to deal with battles, enemies, spiritual and physical battles, right? So let's look at this quote real quick. It says, if you know the enemy and yourself, hello? If you know the enemy and yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. See, once you understand and know yourself, you understand and know how the Most High's redemption and savior, salvation works. Once you understand and know why knowing who you are is important, our people run around here and say, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're all God's people. We're all from the same place. No, that ain't how it works. That ain't how the Most High laid down the agenda of the Holy Scriptures. Knowing that you're chosen, knowing that your obligation is to fear the Most High and keep the commandments, knowing that your obligation is to know that the Most High is a spirit and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, according to John, the 4th chapter, the 22nd down to 24th verse. You got to do it according to the word, not according to what you feel, how you thought it should have. We've got an instruction manual. All we got to do is read it, abide by it, and apply these things, and we'll be okay. So even Sun Tzu saying you got to know yourself. And if you know your enemy, so when we understand prophecy, we understand and know how these things are going to operate, how things are going to unfold. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen in this third world war. We're not going to have to worry about what's going to happen within all of the tribulations that go on. Because the Most High said, my servant's going to eat, my servant's going to be taken care of. But the key word is servants. Right? We know that there's going to be an elect and a redeemed up out of this hell that we're going through. A third and 144,000 going to be selected out of there to execute judgment with Yahweh Shai and angels. We know this is going to happen. Our job is to prayerfully be a part of those numbers. The battle's already won. We already know how this thing plays out in the end. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, according to 2 Ezra 6 and verse 9. So we don't operate in the fear of what's going to happen. As I continue, look, if you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. Why? Because that's why you see these Negroes running around here talking about they Pan-Africanists and foundational Black Americans and the Kemetic community and the Moors and everybody. The Most High is like, you can know all those things, but guess what? You're still operating within a wicked system. You're still operating blindly because you don't know that this man is about to come out here and chop your head off for biological warfare, physical warfare, oppression, project slums, ghettos, the whole nine, economic warfare. He's constantly got another battle that he's going to constantly conquer. So as much as we can sit back and say, yeah, I'm winning this, I won that, I know who I am. But if you don't know who he is, because you notice most of those particular doctrines that are catering towards, in particular, the so-called Negroes, they don't never be on the front lines riding against the damn white man and the nations. The ones who do, i.e. the new Black Panther Party and all them, they're buried underground, but they don't even know who they are. They're still calling themselves black. We got to pull it all together. So continuing on, it says, if you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So you may say, well, I ain't understand why we need to watch the debate. I'm not saying you need to watch the debate, but if you're inquisitive, if you want to know, look, even Job tells us. What is it? Job 9. Job tells us. So this is why we can utilize a quote from a heathen general, right? But if it doesn't coincide and marry with the scriptures, then you got to chew the meat, spit out the bones. But what Sun Tzu is telling us is scriptural. Look at what Job said. Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. Meaning what? If he didn't understand himself, he didn't understand why the importance of the salvation of his soul meant to him being obligated to fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and to be in alignment with righteousness. He said, even though if I was perfect, man, I was doing everything right. I had money, cars, finances. Job was a wealthy man. He had everything lined up, man, and he feared the Most High. But it said if he didn't know who he was, what would happen? I would despise my life. This is where you get self-hate from. This is why you see the stories about like the little young rapper, Fulio, perfect name for him, just got killed. And for my older brothers and sisters out there, you saying who? What? Don't worry about it. This another dumbed down knuckle dragging Negro rapping about killing his enemies and trolling about the death of his enemies and talking about desecrating great. Another ignorant Negro like that got put to death. Reap what he sowed. I believe last weekend. This is what happened. When our people don't know who they are, man, they would despise their life. Now I'm even seeing, and it's for my hip hop community, this for those that's involved in the hip hop community or know what I'm talking about. Right now, there's a divide being perpetrated regarding the Northern and the Southern Kingdom. Just in the entertainment in the rap world and the hip hop culture and all of that, there's a big debate going on and being resurfaced about who started hip hop. Now, some of y'all may say, who gives a damn? What's that got to do with anything? It's part of the culture and the nature of our people, right? If Paul said you got to be all things to all people, you got to be involved. That's the era I come from in the 80s and the 90s. I grew up on it. Obviously, y'all know I used to rap and all that other stuff, right? And because of this being such a huge impact on anyone that was involved in that era, they're trying to have an argument about who started it. Was it blacks or was it Hispanics? Did Hispanics start it? Blacks start? So that's becoming a big divide right now. Not only that, Kendrick Lamar just had a big concert last week on Juneteenth, united all the gangs on the stage and all of that. And now there's murmurings from the Northern Kingdom saying, well, how come we wasn't represented? How come you didn't let no Hispanics on the stage? We're part of Compton. We're part of LA. We're part of the gang scene. How come you didn't let us come up there? So I can see the enemy, man, already creating another divide between Northern and Southern Kingdom, old and new, generationally, information, just all based on pride, really. And that's what happens when our people don't know who they are. We end up leading lifestyles that are destructive, destroying ourselves with drugs, gang violence. Our women are devaluing themselves, prostituting themselves, literally and figuratively, only looking for quote unquote high value or high money making men, ready to give whatever they can to try to be in circles and be around in restaurants and going on trips that they ain't never been to. All for the exchange of, if he's paying my bills, paying my rent, paying my car note, there's no robbery, it's fair exchange. Prostituting themselves on Instagram, OnlyFans, everything else, right? If you don't and you're not locked into these things, you despise your life. This is why people are running around here, shooting and killing each other over blocks and streets that we don't own, over drugs that's destroying our communities. If you don't know who you are, you will despise your life. This is why our people are running into these crack houses, aka churches, trying to think that salvation is in there. I was just looking, I got a TV, right? The Roku TV, right? And they have different categories of channels. One channel they have a category is entertainment. And I looked on there and they had Joel Osteen's channel under entertainment. Why wouldn't it be put under religious? Why wouldn't it be put under whatever if they had one? But I looked at this, I said, damn. The TV is telling you these cats ain't nothing. Joel Osteen and the rest of these damn heathen demons, man, it's entertainment. And that's what happens when our people don't know who they are. We lead self-destructive lifestyle. Okay? So Sun Tzu tells you, if you don't know who you are, and you got to know who your enemy is, the battles are already going to be won and understood, right? Here's another reason why I watched it. Proverbs 21:12. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked. So when I'm watching that, I'm looking for wisdom. I'm looking to understand what the hell is the house of the wicked up to. Let me go and delve into his house. Let me see what's up. They're over there battling for the house right now, the White House. They're over there battling and debating about it. And I got to be honest too, I did watch it for entertainment because I knew it was going to be funny. I knew it was going to have some real noteworthy points to laugh at or to poke fun at. But one thing too is part of that debate, they brought up blacks. Why are we the topic of conversation? Me and Aladar were talking about it. Why are they bringing us up at a national debate concerned about who's doing what for the so-called black man? Jobs, and Trump dumbass, he talking about the illegal aliens are taking black jobs. Well, what are black jobs? What can you let me know? I've done much for the blacks, As Biden, he talking about what he's done for the blacks. Byword and proverb, man, talking down, acting like they're the saviors for you so-called Negroes and Hispanics. And Trump made sure he said blacks and Hispanics. So obviously the Israelites are the topic of conversation, even when it comes down to world stages, when it comes down to politics. Who are they trying to make sure that they please and keep a hold of? The children of Israel. Why? Because every place that the children of Israel been held in bondage, that nation was number one in the world. Go ask the Babylonians. Go ask the Assyrians. Go ask the Persians and the Medes. Go ask the Greeks. Go ask the Romans. Everywhere the children of Israel were held in bondage, that nation went down as a historical powerhouse. Primarily here in the Western Hemisphere, and in Eastern Europe or whatnot, man, where the children of Israel at. From England all the way to America, where the children are right here in bondage. This is why they're trying to make a conversation about what are they doing to try to keep us satisfied. It's politics, y'all know. So when I'm watching, I'm checking for this, man. The righteous man's gonna wisely consider the house of the wicked, but the Most High overthroweth the wicked for their righteousness. This is why you see, those two, those are the saviors of America that we just got to witnessing on Thursday. That's America's best hope. If that's the case, man, the end is already written from the beginning. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that is over with. It is over with. If that's what the best America's got to offer, sayonara, man. Sayonara. Let me get one more. In Sirach 5. One more reason to consider or to watch. Because the Most High said this: be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Your enemies, my enemies, are sitting back debating and talking about what their plans are to try to sustain Babylon, what their plans are to try to maintain the rulership of the so-called white man and his dominance over the world. I'd like to know how you think this is going to go down? Oh, you think that? Come on, So if you don't pay attention, something might fly past you. So the Most High says, man, it's righteous and it's wisdom to check out what's going on in the house of the wicked, man. See what he's up to. You don't want nothing to slide by, because the Most High says, man, listen, ignorance is not an excuse. Don't be ignorant. So some may have the attitude, man, I don't give a damn about that. They're all going to die. It doesn't matter. Esau's the devil. We know all that. But the Most High said the righteous man is going to wisely consider the house of the wicked. This dude is slick. So, nonetheless, long story short, yeah, it was entertaining. I couldn't stop laughing at a lot of points. But at the same time, if that's the outlook of you know, what's going to be happening here in America, that's perfect right there. Two clowns, man. Two clowns. I mean, they're talking about golf handicaps and all. Ridiculous. That's what America's got left. Hey man, it's over with. It is over with. So let's get to some more meat on the plate. All right. So, like I said, as these two clowns are sitting back trying to see whose nose is going to grow further with their lies, Russia got attacked. Russia got hit with a missile attack. I believe it was on the beach. And they said that this was a terrorist attack, and they were blaming the U.S. Blaming the U.S. I mean, at what point now do we not just say, okay, World War III is about to crack for real? All of the little proxy wars, all of the bubbling, all of the rumors that we're hearing about World War III, we see it. We know it's pretty much already underway. We're just waiting for the big boys to step in. You know, you got the fight cards, you know. You got all the little undercard fights. A lot of times, man, our people, you know, when you paying for that big fight, you're like, you know what? I don't really care about the undercards. You know, I watch a little bit of them. Who cares? You know, that's the time you entertaining guests and you're getting your food together and all of that other stuff. You're mixing up a little drink. That's what's going on right now. The undercards is really going down right now. A lot of, wars, rumors, whatnot. The main event hasn't really kicked in. There you go, Naquab. The main event hasn't kicked in yet. That's what we're waiting on, is the main event. And the heavyweights, China, Russia, Iran, America, you know, we're waiting for them to jump into the ring. It's close. You can damn near hear the war drums beating in the background of the introductory music, you know, before they come out. But based upon that debate, in my assessment, man, and my discernment, they're going to wait until after. Unless something, you know, unless the Democrats are slow Biden, joke Biden, pushes the panic button to cause some confusion and stir up the pot before this election because he looks so bad. They're going to have to do something to reinvigorate their chances. You know, you leave it to Trump. He's saying he's going to stop all the wars. He can't do that. The Most High has already, you know, let the arrow out. But you know, they're over here really paranoid. So look at this. Russia says the U.S. is responsible for a deadly Ukrainian attack on Crimea. Russia said on Sunday that the United States was responsible for a Ukrainian attack on the Russian annexed Crimean Peninsula with 5 U.S. supply missiles that killed 4 people, including 2 children, and injured 151 more. The Russian Defense Ministry said that 4 of the U.S. delivered Army tactical missile systems equipped with cluster warheads were shot down by air defense systems, and the ammunition of the 5th had detonated in midair. So they knocked down 4 of the 5. The one that had the 5th, the cluster warheads got out, injured and killed 4 people, 2 children, injured 151 more. Remember, America already gave the green light damn near a month ago and said, cool, go ahead and start attacking the interiors of Russia, Ukraine. We'll give you the weapons. Handle your business. This is why Russia is blaming America. And Putin went on record and said that America is officially an enemy of Russia. So go take that to the bank for those that were saying that the Israelites were crazy and don't understand how the prophecies is working and are fear mongering and okay. Look at this. Russia vows retaliation against the U.S. for Ukraine's ATACMS missile attack on Crimea. So Russia's made a vow that they're going to retaliate against the U.S. How and where, they haven't said, and they haven't done anything yet. As of right now, I don't know if they're waiting for a surprise attack. I don't know if Putin was waiting to see what goes down with this election before he jumps into the ring and says, you know what, if I strike now, there might be a changing of the guard. I might have to deal with Trump next year. I don't know if I want to do that. Or he may say, you know what, I might be able to go ahead. If Biden wins, I already know I'm really going to start launching ICBMs over there. Who knows? What type of attack or retaliation they're going to do? Don't know yet. But he made a vow that he's going to do it. So is America preparing for that possible retaliation? No, the Negroes worried about BET awards. Are they worried about retaliation? No, they're arguing over who started hip hop. They're worried about when's the next Housewives of Atlanta series coming on. Meanwhile, the enemies of America, man, is waiting and preparing to retaliate against America. Look at it. Russian Navy wargaming maritime conflict on NATO lake. So they've conducted drills and conducted their war games over in Cuba, knocking on the door of America. Now they're over there in NATO waters, waiting for somebody to try them. Russian Baltic Fleet has conducted exercises in the body of water dubbed a, quote, NATO lake, amid heightened tensions in the alliance, which is conducting its own drills in the region. Remember, NATO is conducting its biggest military drills ever. Over 300,000 men are preparing and exercising war game strategies and practices right now. We just seen last week, I covered an article where it said NATO was talking about they need to get more nukes prepared. China saying they need to get more nukes prepared. I mean, all hell is breaking. U.S. is talking about they're getting back into making more nukes. They haven't started remaking them since the after World War II. Regional tensions caused by Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 have been followed by the NATO accession of Finland and Sweden, meaning that the Baltic Sea is now surrounded by alliance members. See, so Putin was initially, they used to be able to do their war games over in that area because Finland and Sweden wasn't part of NATO. Now that they're part of NATO, now they're in quote-unquote NATO territories. Russia's Baltic Fleet is headquartered in the exclave of Kaliningrad, whose location between NATO members Poland and Lithuania would make it a front line in any conflict between Moscow and the alliance. Newsweek has contacted the Russian Defense Ministry and NATO for comment. Imagine that. Look at this. Russia wheels out terrifying Yars missiles capable of striking targets 7,500 miles away in latest nuke drills. 7,500 miles away. That enables them to strike Europe and the U.S. The article is going to show us in a minute. They're wheeling them out, preparing. Vladimir Putin's forces are holding yet more nuclear missile drills amid an ongoing program of strategic military exercises, wheeling out terrifying ICBM missiles and new footage released today. Unsettling footage shows mobile Yars ICBMs being moved from hangars into forest locations in Russia's remote Irkutsk region of Siberia for potential combat use. For potential combat use. Imagine that. The missiles, which soar through space and re-enter the atmosphere at Mach 25, have a range of up to 7,500 miles, enabling a strike on Europe and the U.S. Look, you know what? Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at Revelation 9. I'm not going to touch on the whole thing. One day I'll double back, Lord willing, and we'll look at Revelation 8 and 9, and we'll look at how the trumpets is going to be playing out the 7 trumpets and the end all be all for this place, man. Let's look at this. All right. So Revelation 9 and verse 14, saying to the 6th angel which had a trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So there's 4 angels that are holding back destruction and judgment, right? And we know that the Euphrates plays a major role because number one, it's the location in the area where we'll see the Valley of Jehoshaphat. We're going to see major destructions going on via World War III. Also a sign, according to Revelation 16, is that Euphrates is going to dry up and the kings of the east are going to march towards war, right? Verse 4, it says, and the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, a day, and a month, and a year for to slay the third part of men. So the angels are preparing themselves. They've been ready. Remember, America said they're going to be destroyed. America going to be destroyed in an hour. Right? So these are all dispensations of time that they were being held and loosed and preparing themselves for particular judgments. Right? So even when you look at, I made mention of this I forgot the woman's name. It's Edomite woman who did a detailed study regarding the effects of nuclear war. And she said that America would be destroyed in 72 minutes when, or quote unquote, if hit by nukes. You might as well just round that up round that hour up to that particular point in time. All right. We'll get back to that later. So continuing on, it says that the number of the army, the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. So you're talking 200 million. 200 million regarding, troops, warfare, the missiles, so forth and so on, the warheads. Is going to be massive, massive destruction. That's why you're seeing all the nations are building up their armies and building up their nukes because they're preparing themselves for warfare, right? Verse 17, and thus I saw the horses in a vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone. So the horses are representations of the ICBMs and the missiles, right? These are the things that provide the horsepower. These are the things that were led, in ancient times. These are the things that led out the charge. Men on horses, they're riding out. They're going to attack their enemies. This was the method of transportation that men would use, the chariots that were being pulled by horses, right? You've got men that were riding on horses. So when John is getting his vision, he's seeing a mode of transportation with high, as we call it now, horsepower, moving towards this battle. And it says, and what sat on them was breastplates of fire, jacinth, and brimstone, meaning this is what they were coated in. This is what was going to be able to provide the destruction. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So let's look at this real quick. How do ICBMs work? This is kind of cartoonish, but you'll see how the scriptures play out.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles are long-range devices that carry one or more nuclear warheads to distances well beyond 8,000 kilometers. They are called ballistic because they are propelled by 2 or 3 stages full of rocket fuel, and once in space, they let the warheads fall back to Earth to their targets in a ballistic trajectory. The warheads are
Now see, this is why when the scriptures say they had the heads of a lion, meaning once it opens its mouth, you hear that roar, you hear the destruction, you see the teeth, right? These are the teeth, the warheads that's up in there. The mouth opens up. That's why I said it had the heads of a lion, because what ends up happening when the lion roars, man, everybody gets scared. King of the jungle's coming around, man, people's getting out the way. The animals was getting out the way. Now, although they say the hippo is the most dangerous, the hippo stay in his butt in the water. He's not an apex predator. He's not coming out, right? The lion rules the land. That lion roars, he opens up that mouth, them teeth get to showing, man's going to be afraid. Same thing with these missiles. Open up the mouth, there go the teeth.
cone-shaped containers capable of withstanding incredibly high atmospheric re-entry temperatures caused by the speed they travel, usually well above Mach 3 or 3 times faster than the speed of sound. These containers are called Multiple Independent Re-entry Vehicles or MIRVs, and some of the most advanced versions can deploy electronic countermeasures to try and defeat interceptor missiles. And that's how intercontinental ballistic missiles work. If you like this video, then don't forget to leave your like, your comments, and
So now that was one little thing. I'm gonna show another one in a minute, but let me get back to the scripture. So now when we see here, it says, "And I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and japheth." The fire and japheth, that's uh the nuclear power and the destruction that's coming within them. Fire, brimstone. Remember, this is how the Most High said He's going to plead with all the flesh. Is going to be by fire. He made the covenant with the earth, said He's not going to destroy the earth anymore via water. Next time it's going to be by fire, right? Second Peter tells us it's going to be the elements are going to melt with fervent heat. It says, "And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone." Those are the warheads that we just seen out of the mouth. So once the mouth is open, what comes out of the mouth is the smoke and brimstone, meaning what? The warheads and its destruction. Okay. Verse 18. It says, "By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of the mouth." So the third part of the men would be technically a certain dispensation of people, right? But I want to look at this a little bit more in depth. Let's look at this, right? Now follow me. It says a third part of men. So this is the 6 continents. The 7th is Antarctica. You know, the scriptures don't really mention Antarctica, and there really ain't nobody dwelling on there as a whole or mass populace. This is where the mass populace of people are. Well, Antarctica is there. It's like it. Where's the 7th one? You got North and South America. I think that's the 7th. North, South. Yeah. So they're including North and South as one continent. All right. But anyway, right? When you're looking at it from a mathematical perspective, you've got 2, 6. Here's the 1, 2 versions of it, 2, 6. And that breaks down to a simple fraction. 2 can go into 6 one time. You put the 1 on top, and the 3, 2 goes into 6 3 times on the bottom. So that's where you get a third. So out of all of these, 1 out of the 3 is going to be destroyed. So the scriptures say that this is where the third is, because we know that America is going to be destroyed according to Revelation 18, among other scriptures. So let's look at it from here. If the earth was broken up into thirds, a third part of the men that the scriptures declare is going to be destroyed, here is America on this side. And it's kind of cut off because of the, the circle. But nonetheless, we see that this is portions of South America, Mexico, Cuba, and the islands over here, the East Coast of America, Midwest, so forth and so on. If you break it down and you're looking at what third does the scripture speak of being destroyed, bro, this area in particular said that it's going to be destroyed. Let's look at that real quick in Revelation. Let's start at verse. We'll just start at verse 5 and we'll read down real quick. It says, Revelation 18:5, "For her sins have reached unto heaven," speaking about Babylon, speaking about America, "and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double." So all of the abominations, the slavery, the oppression, the wickedness, the fornication, the adulteries, the transformer movements, and everything else, the Lord said, all this wickedness, man, all have judgments. They're going to get double for it. Verse 7, "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh, the power who judgeth her." Right? Drop down verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear for torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city, Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So all the merchants and everybody that was living deliciously, as the scriptures say, with her, and all of the fornication and all of the money that they was making and all of the defilements that they enjoyed over here, they're going to be crying, Babylon is no more. Okay. I'm gonna stop there just for time's sake. But Revelation, 18 amongst others, man, discuss the destruction of this place. Revelation 11, I believe, also speaks about the woes that come along with the destruction of this place, right? But for time's sake, we're gonna get back over here, and we see via verse 18. So if everybody can see it or understand it, it says, "By these three was a third part of man killed." Right, so there's going to be a mass destruction of men. At the same time, there's going to be a geographic area where the third part of men is going to be dwelling. That's going to be destroyed. This is why we have to pray that the Most High delivers us up out of here through the chariots and be removed from the destruction. Right, because this place is doomed. Continuing on, it says, "By these three was a third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth." So they're going to be, America's going to be a heaping smoke of fire, smoke, the nuclear fallout, so forth and so on. This place is going to be uninhabitable. Brimstone which issued out of his mouth. For their power is in their mouth. So when we look at it again, it says the power is in their mouth. This is why we see when that mouth opened up, you saw what came out? Them nuclear warheads.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles are a long-range.
Watch this one.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles are capable of traveling thousands of miles in a matter of minutes, carrying nuclear warheads that are capable of destroying entire cities. ICBMs are primarily used to deliver nuclear payloads, but they can also carry chemical or biological weapons. It has a minimum range of 5,500 kilometers. It is extremely hard to track and intercept.
Now, see, notice also, when the Most High talks about, like in Revelation 8, it talks about the great star and the stars of heaven falling. These are the stars. See how it looks?
Because of its speed and maneuverability, it can also carry chemical or biological weapons. It has a minimum range of 5,500 kilometers.
And then when it descends,
it is extreme.
When the warhead opens up and them missiles start dropping, the warheads start dropping, that's the descendants of the stars falling from heaven, right? Again, like I said, another day I'll go into Revelation 8 and 9 and all of that, Lord willing. But just want to show you how the scriptures align with what we're seeing technology-wise that the so-called white men have developed with this destruction. And the Most High prescribed it because the Most High called him the Smith that's going to make these weapons of destruction.
Extremely hard to track and intercept because of its speed and maneuverability. The missile is powered by several rocket motors, which use a combination of liquid and solid fuel to generate thrust. The missile is also equipped with an onboard computer that provides navigation and guidance. Once the missile is launched, it accelerates rapidly until it reaches space. After that, the booster is separated and the missile continues its ballistic trajectory, flying through space at speeds of up to Mach 20. In the last phase, the missile's warhead is separated from the missile body and re-enters the atmosphere. Once the warhead reaches its target, a detonation occurs. Currently, the United States, Russia, China, France, India, UK, Israel, and North Korea are the only countries known to have operational ICBMs.
Wow. Now, let me get back over here real quick. Let me finish this. I'm going to just read the verse 19. It says, "For their power is in their mouth and in their tails." That's why you see the tail, meaning the thrusters that come from the rockets, right? Notice it said it's got two different levels of thrust that come from it. It says, "For their tails were like serpents." So when you see that long stretch of fire and smoke to come out of it, that's why John was like, man, it looked like a tail of a serpent, man. It's long. And then Russia even has a missile called the Kinzhal, Kinzhal, Kinzhal missile, that it operates and it can it's got like a navigation in it where it can avoid detection. So it moves around like a serpent. And that's why I think I covered this a while back, a few months back. that they had a new missile that came out, and America, the defense systems, I believe in America and some other military strategics, they was like, there's no stopping this missile. When we seen it launch, it looked like a serpent in the air. I got to find that article. But if y'all remember, if anybody remembers me bringing that one out, they said that they got a missile, man, that moves like a serpent and it's undetectable because they can maneuver it. But I believe it's called the Kinzhal missile, Kinzhal missile. It says, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, plural, and with them they do hurt. Yeah, they're going to cause major damage. So it says, the powers in their mouth and in their tails. The tails were like serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Let's look at the hurt. I mean, when you see stuff like that, then when you see why Peter said, you know, that the elements is gonna melt with fervent heat, man, he talking about flesh just completely disintegrating off of bodies, right? This is the judgment that's coming to this place, you know.
Intercontinental ballistic missiles are capable of traveling.
This is why it's important, man. When we see this stuff go down, our only escape is on them chariots, man. Our only escape is on them chariots. Hold on, let me get one scripture of that one. In Isaiah, I think it's 26, but I want to make sure. Isaiah, yeah. Isaiah 26 and 20. And 21. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. Well, what's the chambers? And shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So the chambers are the chariots. You ain't talking about go hide in the closet. You just seen what just happened. You think a closet door is going to save you from that? Your front door with the gate on it, that's going to save you? Bars on the windows going to save? No. Remember, Psalms 103 says the Most High makes his clouds, his chariots, and his chambers. I believe that's in Psalms 103. So we're talking about the chariots. So Lord willing, we're able to get up out of here. It says, shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment. Remember, he said in an hour, the place is going to be destroyed until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Most High Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. For the earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain. So, you know, America is going to be destroyed. Our homeland is going to suffer major damage and much destruction as well. That's why it's going to need to be rebuilt. That's why the heathen's going to have to, you know, turn their swords into plowshares and get to working to rebuild and reestablish. You know, so that's our only escape, man, is to get up out of here in those terms. You know, I don't want to go too far off, but this is where the Spirit is leading. This is where it's leading. So I'm gonna just go here real quick too. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Why? Because we're going to be saved through the chariots. They're going to say, we thought that was BS. We thought it was green men with skinny bodies and big heads. We thought that was just, some old hocus pocus conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat madness. We thought the Israelites was lying when they said that the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans was the only ones who was going to be saved and delivered from said destruction. I think it's in Zechariah, the Most High said, well, the heathen that remain, well, they going into bondage. And they're going to come offer up sacrifices and everything else after they get taught by the Israelites. So this is what's going to be going down. They said they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they repented and groaning for anguish. The spirits shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Yes, they was calling you niggas and spicks and wetbacks and illegal aliens and everything else. The Lord said, oh yeah, they're going to be repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit. They're going to say within themselves, God dang, they was right. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. We thought all they were supposed to do was shut up and dribble. Remember that, LeBron? When you try to step out there on your BLM movement and the Edomites told you, man, shut up and dribble. And what he do? He went right back and shut up and dribbled. He talked a little bit more on Twitter or whatever the hell he tried to do, but his ass went right back onto that court. He ain't stand up and take no stand and say, you know what? I don't need this. I'm almost a billionaire. Do you think I need this ball anymore? I'm cool. He could have walked right off, man, and shook the basketball world and said, oh, really? No. What'd he do? He went right back and continued playing. See, but that's how they treat Jake. They account his life, account our lives for madness. We don't do nothing but shoot each other up, man, and twerk on stage, which the vast majority is true. But they sit back and they take advantage of it. The nations do it, man. The Africans come over here selling us damn African bobbleheads and all kind of stuff, taking advantage, selling us a dream, saying that was us. I'm talking about the Hamites. I ain't talking about the dispersed Israelites that remain in Africa, in West Africa, Sierra Leone and in Ghana and Accra and all them other places, right? And his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of the Most High and his lot among the saints? This is why they're sitting back saying, how the hell did they escape this impending doom and destruction? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. See? That's what it's going to boil down to. Right? Yeah. Kyrie stood up. And he took his suspension on the chin, said he ain't getting poked in the arm and none of that. He did what he's supposed to do. LeBron, the rest of them cats, man, them dudes are sellouts, man. Let me close these up. But nonetheless, man, let me get on back over here. But this is what we see. What's happening. When this hell hits, man, our only escape is on them chariots. Lord willing, man, we're in the number of the elect that we get saved from said destruction. That's why when I read the first quote from Sun Tzu, it said, if you know yourself, you know your enemies, doesn't matter if it's 100 battles. You're going to be all right because you got the knowledge, the wherewithal, the wisdom, and the understanding and the know-how on how to maintain your crown of salvation via fearing the Most High, keeping the commandments, and teaching others to do so as well. So getting back over here to the aspects of war, Taiwan. Hopefully everybody got some understanding out of that, man, because it's real. It's real. Getting back over here to Taiwan, that's another rumor of war that's kicking off. China's inching even closer towards invading Taiwan and causing problems for America. Taiwan warns against travel to China after execution threat. So, we know the scriptures when, what was it, Sirach 15. This is a global thing that's going to be happening, right? This is a global thing. Did I get it right? Yeah, Sirach 15. Not Sirach 15. I'm tripping. Second Ezra's 15. And you know, I'm gonna read 14. I'm gonna drop down, read verse 17. So Sirach 15. Why do I keep talking about Sirach? Second Ezra's 15. Shalaki, y'all. Second Ezra 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Why? Because this is going to end up happening. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Taiwan warns against travel to China after execution threat. The raised travel warning, which follows a threat from Beijing to execute, quote, diehard Taiwan independent supporters, also applies to Chinese-run cities of Hong Kong and Macau. Taiwan's government raised its travel warning for China on Thursday, telling its citizens not to go. A man shall desire to go in the city and not be able, telling its citizens not to go unless absolutely necessary, following a threat from Beijing last week to execute those deemed, quote, diehard Taiwan independent supporters. China's laying down the law. They're saying, guess what? We're getting ready to start making moves. You've got diehard Taiwanese supporters who saying, F China, we don't want to be part of China no more. We're not going back, blah, blah, blah. They said, well, we're going to start executing, rounding them up. Taiwan says, you better not go over there unless it's an emergency. Otherwise, stay away from China because you might just get captured, executed, so forth and so on. And that's going to make us delve into this war faster than we're ready. So that's on the table. Let's move on. Israel readies troops for potential escalation in Lebanon. That's getting even more bigger because what? Iran and Hezbollah are there at Lebanon at the northern border of Israel, and they're preparing for war to escalate, I should say, even more, right? So a bigger war could be jumping off there. Wars and rumors of wars continue. All right. I'm going to read a little list and then continue on. Israel's prime minister and president toured northern Israel's borders and met with military commanders there on Wednesday amid escalating tensions with Hezbollah, forces in Lebanon, and mounting concerns from world leaders that a wider war could break out. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, posted a video on social media during his visit of him saying that Israeli forces were, quote, determined and committed to the mission of achieving victory and no less. So they're not letting up. Doesn't matter who they're facing. If they're facing Hezbollah, that means they're at war with Iran. Iran's got allies with Russia, China, and so forth and so on. That could lead to the greater escalation. We're just wondering which one is going to be the main event. Who's going to kick out the main event? Is it going to be America and Russia? Is it going to be NATO, Russia, China? That's the ultimate, you know. But who's going to spark it to where it gets into the big heavyweights jumping off? You know, there's a couple of aspects on the table, man. We're just waiting for our Father to pull the trigger on which one he's going to influence through the Spirit to set it off. Here's the aftermath of the results. You see the headlines. And if anybody watched any of the feedback that came after it, man, everybody's turning on slow Biden. All their supporters, man, all the Democrats, everybody, even the damn news. I was telling Aladdin, I was like, I'm wondering, I want to hear what the talking heads and the Mockingbird media, man, that they all paid off, man. The Clinton News Network, the Crime National News, CNN, the Coon Nigga News, you know, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to see if they were going to stand behind him. So they set it all up for him. He chose CNN. He chose the moderators. They made down all the rules. They rolled out the red carpet for this cat, man. They had him shelled up at I think it was Camp David, drilling them and preparing them and letting him get his rest. And I'm sure he had a nice little IV of a nice little cocktail, man, that they gave him a couple of days before that probably should have lasted through Thursday, but obviously, you know, it wore off fast. He couldn't do it. It's one of two things. But either they set him up and they knew he was going to go out there and fumble the ball to give the Democratic Party a bigger reason to replace him. So they set him up and say, yeah, Joe, you're great. You're going out there. Watch him fall. We're going to wait for him to stumble and fall. Everybody's going to turn on him. Hopefully he drops out so that we can get Gavin Newsom, Gruesome, New Scum to take his place. Or they even talking about Hillary Clinton digging her up from her political grave to put her back up there. Either way, the headline tells you it all. We're effed. Democrats despair over Biden debate performance. So if you want any feedback of what happened if you missed it, slow Biden, joke Biden, as expected, came out, fumbled the ball, man, provided some good laughs and commentary, man. Here, let me give y'all a good little laugh if you missed it. This is give or take 5 minutes into the debate.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example,
First of all, he's coming out already again, sounding all phlegmy and all jacked up, man. And, you know, afterwards they said, oh, he had a cold. You know, last week they said that it was cheap fakes. That what you're seeing isn't really happening. Now everybody's seeing the national stage, seeing this stuff go down. And so now they say, well, yeah, it wasn't a cheap fake, but he had a cold. He was sick. I mean, the excuses that don't stop, man. The excuses don't stop.
what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
Uh-oh.
And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Look at Trump. Trump can look at him like, "You all right? Like, what's up with you?" The COVID. Excuse me. A billion. I mean, 1,000. He gets the blinking.
But excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
And notice the cat from CNN, man, he came in and saved him. Because he knew he's about to go ramble on some more, talking about he beat Medicare. And he was like, thank you, Mr. Trump. Like, just stop now, man. Stop now, because you were already in deep water. That was like 5 minutes in on a damn near 2-hour debate.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Good Lord. Good Lord. See, and now, you know, you try to get everybody seen it, right? I think it's Ciroc 32. Let me see. Yeah, look at 17. So Ciroc 32:17 says, a sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will. Now that's wisdom and that's understanding for us in particular. When it comes down to correction, reproval, or whatnot, man, if you keep making excuses of why you breaking the Sabbath, why you can't stop eating pork, why you can't put a cigarette down, why you can't stop smoking weed, you just don't want to be reproved. You'd rather stay in your sins. You know, I don't know why the Lord made me like this, man, but I love women. I just got to keep getting out there and get my. You're going to continue finding excuses, man. I know I got to repent. I'm gonna get it right, man. I'm going to get it right. Sister, yeah, I know I'm always backbiting. I'm always murmuring. I'm always complaining. I'm always talking about other people. I'm always shit. I know, but that's just me. No, it can't be just you, okay? Scripture say, man, a sinful individual will continually find excuses to carry out their will. This is why you see the so-called white man will never submit himself to righteousness. because he's always going to find an excuse to continue on with his will. He can't be corrected. So as the Democrats and all of them are running around here telling Joe Biden, you need to step down, man. You can't handle this. He says, I'm fine. They charged him up the next day. He went to Virginia for a rally. He was charged up. I seen the news report. They was like, this isn't the same Biden as last night. This is what happened? You know what happened. Slow by went. How do I look? You look good, Joe. You look good, man. You good? Yeah. Get me out there right now. I'm charged up, man. Hold on. Let me shoot up again. Give me a little backup. Shot him up with some more stuff. Nice little elixir of nose candy and something else. He was out there hyped up. I may not be able to walk like I used to and debate like I used to, but I know how to tell the truth. That was a lie. The scriptures say, man, the wicked are estranged from the womb as soon as they be born speaking lies. I mean, dude lied when he said that. He lied in the debate. He said nobody's died. No troops have died under his watch. And all the commentators, everybody was like, hold on. You had like 12 or 13 die in Afghanistan on that extraction. He was like, what are you talking about? This is straight up madness, man. Yeah, he had that Hunter special. His son told him, but Pops, come on over here, man. I got something for you. Pure from Bolivia. I mean, but he was charged up the next day. And all the damn commentators were like, who is this? This ain't the same guy. Unbelievable. But he's not going to be reproved. As much as they tell him step aside, he was like, man, I'm not going nowhere. I'm ready for the next debate in September. Look at it. This is
Trump walking off the stage. The first debate of the 2024 campaign and the earliest president.
Now there's the other footage, man. Trump walked out, no problem. Biden's wife got to come over there and come get him. And watch how he walks off the stage.
Debate ever now in the books and in front of the voters. Tonight, along with Aaron Burnett, the first word on what those voters might make of it from our political professionals, from our CNN Flash poll and swing state focus group.
He can barely get down the stairs. One step at a time. She's holding his hand. You seen the footage last week I showed. He froze on stage again, and Obama had to grab his hand and pull him up off the stage. Every time they tell him, Joe, it's over with, man. Oh, no, I still got it. I'm okay. All right. I'm all right.
We'll be talking to surrogates, including Vice President Harris, getting fact checks from Daniel Dale and new reporting from inside both campaigns. With me here, CNN political commentator Scott Jennings, Kate Bedingfield, David Urban, Van Jones, Alyssa Farr Griffin, and Newsnight anchor Abby Phillip.
Man, he's fit as a horse, man. He's ready to go.
David Axelrod.
Democrats say they're effed. So look at it. Democrats are talking about replacing Joe Biden. That wouldn't be so easy. See, now this is where it gets interesting. And that, I'm speculating. I'm sitting back like they gotta replace this dude. Ain't no way. The only way they can do it, they got to push the panic button. Something's got to go down. There's a quote unquote, what do they call it? Black Swan event, October surprise, whatever. Something's got to go down to put this thing into chaos to where either election gets canceled, they got to continue on with him as leader, or something's going to happen to him that he got to get removed. Because it's not as easy as, you know what, we're going to vote you out, Joe. Sit down. You can't go. Watch this. Democratic Party rules make it almost impossible to replace nominees without their consent, let alone smoothly substitute in someone else. Look, it said without a consent. So, unless Joe Biden agrees, remember, a sinful man ain't going to be reproved but find an excuse according to his will. He's got to concede. He's got to say, okay, you know what? I can't do it no more. I'm out the game. I can't do it. He ain't gonna do it. Hold on 1 second. Let me summarize this whole thing with that damn debate. So Psalm 64 and verse 5. This is all they're trying to do. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? This is what they're out there trying to do, is set up and lay snares privately, man. They're encouraging themselves in the evil matter. They got one Republicans over here, clapping and saluting Trump and his performance. That dude was saying the same damn thing over and over his damn self and didn't answer no questions. But he knew if he brought up the border, he brought up inflation and the economy, Slow Biden had no answers for that. It didn't matter all the other questions that they asked Trump. He kept doubling back, man. It's because of the border. It's because of the border. It's because of inflation. So he got slick. He fork-tongued his way just to these two particular main points, which was enough to bury Slow Biden. But at the same time, he ain't got no damn plan. He gonna go right back to doing the same evil and wickedness that he was already doing from the jump. Now, they're encouraging themselves in the evil matter, so they're patting. His wife came out, man. After Slow Biden's wife came out after the debate. You did so good, honey. You answered all the questions. Talking to him like a damn, 10-year-old man that just got off the basketball court after they just lost 110 to 30. You did so great. You scored 1 point. Yeah, great. Okay, well, here's will they give all the kids competing trophies? Everybody's a winner to satisfy the egos of the kids. Like, that's what they doing. That's what they did then. You did great, honey. Who believes that? Now they're going to commune and laying snares privately. They're sitting back saying, how can we get rid of Slow Biden? What is it going to take? How do we get rid of Trump? I mean, we already banked. We damn near hit him in his pocket as much as we can. We're trying to lock him up. I mean, what else have we got on tape? Well, we've got a virus we can release. We've got economic collapse we could utilize. We can crash some of these banks. We can maybe we still got war on the table. We can maybe do that. How about civil war? How's that? Yeah, that could be something. We could jump off, man. We can unleash the migrants. We can have a terrorist attack go down. We've got plenty of snares we can use. And they say, who sees this happening behind closed doors? They've got all kind of damn snares and traps that they're ready to unleash to try to preserve the quote unquote democracy of America. Psalm 141. Let's read verse 9. This is what we do. Look. Verse 8, and we're going to read down to 10. But mine eyes are unto thee, O power, the Lord. In thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Because we know that they're out there planning and plotting various snares, man, to encapsulate. I mean, they're trying to hold on to power of America, man, and slipping before them. All the commentators and talking heads is like, our enemies saw this. This got America looking bad. Trump even said, man, America's looking weak right now. Nobody respects us anymore. And that's good, because that's what we're looking at, breaking the mystique and the armor of America, man, so that it can be broken into and judged. Right? The fear of the nations and the protecting that the Lord had over them. That's getting ready to get up out of here. And it's already, leaving. So now, the Lord said, we want to be kept from the snares from which they laid before me, whether it's chemical, biological, the third world, whatever. We're praying that the Lord saves us from that. But verse 10, let the wicked fall into their own nets. What is that? I withal escape. See, we're trying to get up out of here. They're definitely plotting and planning, man. Best believe. They're trying to figure out how the hell are we going to get up out of this, man. We thought We was gonna do something. Look, Psalms 5:5 says, "The foolish shall not stand in thy sight." Both of them look like fools up there, man. But slow Biden took the cake. The Most High said, man, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be taken down, man. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all the workers of iniquity. They're battling and they're fighting and scrapping over the remains of this great whore. And she's wore out, man. She got no juice left in her, you know. Psalms 10 and verse 14, it says, "Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite." If you watch that debate, you see what we're going on. You saw it. Mischief and spite, man. They over here plotting and planning, lying on stage, man, talking about all the stuff they did for black folks and how the economy's never been better under Biden. Trump says it's never been better under me. Somebody's lying. You dig what I'm saying? Spiting back and forth with each other. He's a liar. What was he? What did the idea? The idea. That's all slow Biden kept saying. Continuing on, right? It says, "Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand. The poor committed themselves unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none." We pray that the Most High, man, sends out the hits on these people, man, because they out here doing mischief and spite and wickedness, all manners of evil. Dropping down to verse you know what? Let me get over here. Let me get this one in Proverbs 10. It says, "Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction." So if you just see him talking, mumbling to himself, man, there was one point where Trump was like, I don't even understand what he said. I don't think he knows what he just said. And slow Biden looked like a damn deer in the headlights. We looked at him like, I mean, it was ridiculous. So while they're having their little cat fight, wise men, we should be laying up knowledge, man. We should be learning about the knowledge of salvation. Scriptures say wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times in Isaiah 33. We got to use this time for wisdom, knowledge, basing it upon strengthening and securing our nation and our salvation. Because what? The mouth of the foolish, they're near destruction, man. This is how you know how much closer we are to the end of this place, because there was a lot of foolish babbles going on up there, man. And the Lord just said that all that is signs of destruction is coming. All that means is destruction is coming, man. If that's the best that America's got, you can forget about it. That's the two greatest candidates left on the table. Look, Proverbs 14:3 says, "In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them." Everything we seen going on, man, we know. Obadiah said, told Edom, man, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Both of them are sitting up there, up to the point where they get to talking about golf handicaps and who can beat each other in golf. I mean, that's how prideful the conversation developed into. You know? So if you missed it, that was some of the highlights of it, man. I'm not going to talk too much more on it, but it was very interesting, very entertaining. Now, one thing that we're going to look at too, it says this. Remember, the Democrats said we're effed. And they're already talking about Joe need to step down, Joe need to back on, Joe. Slow down. Party rules make it almost impossible to replace nominees without their consent, let alone smoothly replace them with someone else. And doing so would amount to party insiders overturning the results of primaries when Democratic voters overwhelmingly did nominate Biden. He won almost 99% of the delegates. At that time, there's no known serious effort to push him off the top of the ticket. But look at this. Still, the Democratic National Committee's charter does make some provisions in case the party's nominee is incapacitated or opts to step aside and an anti-Biden coup at the convention is theoretically possible, if highly unlikely. So how would it work? Two things I want to look at. They said that the two reasons that he can come down is if he's incapacitated or he opts to step aside. Now, incapacitate. Let's see. What does it mean, incapacitate? Because in one video, man, one news report, they said that could mean even death. And at the same video, they said when there's a White House insider, they asked them, what are they looking at? Are they looking to replace? They said, quote, all options are on the table. All options. Now, take that with what you will. I just gave you some options regarding all of the snares, right? But also, if legally, the only way that he can come down is if he voluntarily says he got to go or he's incapacitated. What's that mean? To be deprived of strength or ability or to disable. Breaking news. Joe Biden, that's Joke. If anybody's wondering how am I pronouncing it? Yeah, Joke Biden. Yes. We got Slow Biden, Sloppy Joe, Joke Biden, it all apply. Breaking news. Joe Biden, while exiting Air Force One, stumbles down the stairs, has dislocated his hip, suffered a massive concussion, brain bleeding right now. It's not looking good for him to be able to continue on in the presidential race. He's disabled now. Does he have the strength or the ability? Oh, if you notice, some of the commentaries has been Joe Biden's primary function was to show that he has the strength and the mental fortitude to continue on for another 4 years. All he had to do was assure the people, I still got it. And he failed at that. Also, he doesn't have the strength or the ability to deprive the capacity of natural power, to disable, to render incapable or unfit. So he's got to be proven to be incapable or unfit. That's why I said I believe that they set him up. They know he's unfit and he can't carry on. So the best way to get him out of there is make him look like a fool. Let him stumble, and the pride is in his heart and his mind is going to get out there. Remember, we just read it in Proverbs 14. Let him get out there. His pride's going to tell him he still got it. And he's going to go out there and talk and lose himself and got jacked up. And that's exactly what happened. And now what are they doing? All of the commentators are doubling back and they're saying, oh, this is elder abuse. Oh, I feel bad watching this. It was hard to watch. I had to turn it off. Oh, it's sad to see him this way. Oh, it's like your old grandpa just deteriorating in front of you. And, we don't want to see that. Man, these devils are slick. They lined him up. And now you see why they said the next day he was juiced up and they was like, this ain't the same guy. Who is this guy? I wish I still had that video, man. I would show y'all what they were saying that. This ain't the same Joe Biden. Who is this guy? Wow. They lined him up because this is the only way that they can get him down. If he's not going to do it on his own, he's already said, I'm not stepping down. Matter of fact, I'm doubling down on the debate in September. So they lined him up. They've got everybody with this attitude. He's incapable and unfit. Oh, or he could be disabled. That they're going to remove this guy. Man. We'll see. Right? But that's what's on the table. Look at this. Zelensky says he's preparing to end the war with Russia. Oh, really? I guess he didn't like what he saw. This is right after the debate. Because he knew slow Biden, you know, die hard, giving him all he wanted, all the money he wanted, everything else, man. Trump said, man, I ain't giving him nothing. It's over till the mother country gets some money. That's done. If I'm in there, Zelensky was like, oh, when the gravy train is over, I might need to go ahead on and figure out how to end this thing. Because otherwise, it's over with, man. Trump is going to endorse Putin, will be obliterated. So he's trying to find an escape hatch. See that? All of a sudden now, after that one debate, man, Zelensky come out talking about maybe we need to get a plan to end this thing because our backer, our trick, Joe Biden, you know, looks like he might be dethroned, and we're going to be toast. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday said he was drawing up a comprehensive plan for how Kyiv believes the war with Russia should end. Remember, before that, he wasn't talking like that. He was talking about he was going to fight to the end and all this other stuff, all this patriotic stuff, and we got to fight the big bully, and we need America and the world to stand behind us, and we'll never give up, and blah. Remember all that? He was getting paraded around on MTV and the damn Oscar awards, and he's going around the country to country, everybody giving him money. He's riding around that same dirty green shirt. He wasn't supposed to be talking like this. All of a sudden, after that damn debate, he was like, let me go ahead on and formulate a plan to surrender. We'll see if he does it, but he's talking about creating a plan to end the war. And you know NATO don't want that. You know America don't want that. They've invested too much to take a loss and say, man, Russia defeated all of us. They're the new superpower, man. Look how this is going to make us look on the end. They ain't going to let him bow down, man. They're going to slap him upside the head and say, man, suck it up and keep going. We don't give a damn if you got to keep recruiting women. You go to barbershops and get men up off the streets. You get out there, man. We're not stopping. That's how it's going to go. But he's on public record talking about we need to go ahead on and cash in before it's too late. So he says there are no public talks going on between Ukraine and Russia, and based on public statements by Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin, the two sides appear as far apart as ever when it comes to the terms of a potential peace settlement. Zelensky hosted a major international summit in Switzerland earlier this month, to which Russia was not invited to rally support for Ukraine's position. Remember, Putin had a peace plan lined up a month or so ago that got rejected. He said, look, give me all of the lands that I've already, annexed back to Russia. We're going to keep those. I think he wanted Kyiv and something else. And he said, just give me what's rightfully mine back. And you drop your bid to join NATO and all is good. They said, hell no. America said, hell no. What are you saying, Ashura? Is what it? You say, is that it? I'm not following. When you say, is that it? Let me know what you're talking about, Ashura. But continuing on, it says, it is very important for us to show a plan to end the war that will be supported by the majority of the world. See, now he's trying to back down. No, sir. No, sir. Now look at this. This is something else to consider. If you know on DSTM and in our classes, All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Give me 7 in the chat if y'all can hear me.
All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Looks like I can hear myself. Can y'all hear me? 7 in the chat if y'all can hear me. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Woo! You had to see it to believe it. You got to see it to believe it, man. You know, people think that, myself or others in the Israelite community be belly aching, man, about being attacked and being targeted. You right here live with me. You see how it goes. You see how it goes. So yeah, clearly, man, Satan tried to move in here, man. That ain't never happened before, man. My mic, camera, everything just got disconnected. Then they said it was being used on streaming on another application. Like I had Zoom or something else open, like it was operating in 2 different places. So clearly someone hacked in and was disconnected my camera and mic and utilized it somewhere else and told my computer and told StreamYard, which is the app that I use, this is being used somewhere else. We got to cut it off from here because it's using somewhere else. I mean, good Lord. Got to see it to believe it, man. The life of a prophet of the Lord, man. Dealing with Satan, dealing with our enemies, and dealing with this folly, man. But all praise to the Most High for those that stuck in, rode the wave through the folly, man. It don't stop. It don't stop. You dig what I'm saying? So shoot your shot, Satan. Doesn't matter, man. We keep it pushing all day long. Good precept, Naquab. I'm going there. Going there, man. Goddamn bastards, man, trying to play around. Okay. Yeah, it could have been a slow bottling. I have no idea, Sharp, man. But you know what? As brother just put out there, man, what's the scripture say? 2 Corinthians 13:8, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, man. All attempts to stop this is futile. All day long, man. So, it's got to continue to be diligent, keep pushing, don't fold. You dig what I'm saying? It's in Proverbs 11, I believe, 24:10. Let's read that one. Proverbs 24:10. We double back with one more scripture, right? If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. So this is about endurance. This is about dealing with oppositions of evil. This is about dealing with, follies and frustrations and everything else, man. The Lord said, if you faint during the day of adversity, I could have just been like, you know what? Damn. All right, that was already almost 2 hours on down the drain or whatever. And Satan just stopped it, man. Forget it. I'm done. I could have easily just been like, that's it, y'all. Whatever. See y'all next time. No. We push through, man. Thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. So we ain't fainting over here. All right. Let's get back to it, man. Lost some people. Some people said, oh well, I'm gonna go somewhere else. It's all good, man. Whoever stayed on, stayed on. But nonetheless, let's get back to it, man. I'm not done. We got to finish this DSTM off. Let me open this up. And we'll get right back to the regular scheduled programming. Back to the regular scheduled programming. Now, back to where we was at, right? So we're talking about the draft, talking about conscription. Now you got this guy, Rishi Sunak, who is the current, I believe, prime minister in England, in the UK, right? And he's in the midst of a election as well. Now, currently, he's the head honcho, man. He's the HNIC over there. And because we've been talking about the draft being put down over in America, remember we talked about that, man. They want men and women, 1826. They want the draft to go down here, preparing for World War III. Europe doing the same thing. Now, during this campaigning, and right now, for those that's in the UK, you want to pray to the Most High that he drops out the that he loses. Right now, they're saying he's behind. He's not favored, but he's running the show right now. So during this campaign, they asked him about, you're talking about this draft. What if young people say they ain't with it? Now, I always bring this up because this translates to everywhere else around the world, right? Don't look at, that's just the UK. Every time that happens, you always see something rise up over here in America too. Look what he says the penalties will be. Young people who refuse to do national service could lose, quote, access to finance. Rishi Sunak reveals. So what are we talking about? Your ability to buy and sell. Oh, if you don't live by the bark of his name, number, so forth and so on. If you don't go along with the system of the beast, you will not be able to have access to finance. Oh, look at that. If you don't sign up, you don't accept how things are moving, he's proposing you take away their ability to make money. They could also have their driving license removed under the tough sanctions policy. Young people who refuse to do national service could lose their access to finance, Rishi Sunak has said. The prime minister also suggested they could have their driver's license removed. Sunak revealed the draconian measures during an election question time special on BBC. Under the national service plan, which was announced by the PM at the start of the election campaign, every 18-year-old in the country would have to either join the military or spend 1 weekend a month carrying out a community service. No exceptions. He already put it in place while he still has power as the prime minister. Now, you got to join the military or you got to do, quote unquote, community service 1 weekend a month. And if you refuse, he says, oh, don't worry. 18 is when you're supposed to be able to start your liberation. You're supposed to start moving in and, looking for jobs and careers and so forth and so on. He's saying that's getting cut off immediately. You will have no future. Continuing on, presenter Fiona Bruce asked Sunak, if national service is going to be compulsory, how will you make people do it? The prime minister replied, well, you have a set of sanctions and incentives, and we will look at the models that are existing around Europe to get the appropriate mix of those. Asked again what sanctions would be put in place, Sunak said there would be a, quote, range of different options. So, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Remember, America is the little horn that sprang from the seventh horn of Britain, Great Britain. They're going to follow in the same suit as a daddy. Let alone if you do refuse here in America, don't worry. They're lining up all of the damn FEMA camps as we speak. I'm going to do a little report on that. I seen a video they were talking about, man, this cat was an ex head of Border Patrol. And he's been going on a mission dealing with this whole migrant situation. And he investigated and dealt with this one woman, man, that was involved with I think she was involved with FEMA or something like that. But she said they're building camps in every state, detention centers. And the dude was like, well, they can't be for the migrants because they're on a catch and release right now. Or they're on a mock clearance and they're given a temporal pass to enter into the country with a potential court date regarding their citizenship. And he said that the court dates could be 2 years from now. They give him a piece of paper, a phone, a bus ticket, and everything else, and was like, look, here's your notice to appear in court, 2027, 2028, we expect to see you. You think they showing up? They said, man, the migrant facilities is empty. So who and what are these detention centers and camps for? That's a whole nother thing we'll talk about in the very near future. But they're being built as we speak, man. I've showed y'all the different regions. Hold on. They got the FEMA regions lined up, you know. Just look at this real quick. You want to know how they're going to break it up, how they're going to regulate? Here all the regions are. 10 FEMA regions is all here. They already separated them. They already got them lined up. And they got camps, detention centers, so-called, in every one of them, ready to round Jake's up. Okay? I mean, listen, man. These are the snares. This is the stuff that the so-called white man's doing in his last remains to grasp on the power and control of this place. Right? So they're talking about restricting your finances over in the UK, man, at 18 if you don't join up. Same thing gonna be happening here and some more stuff. Now look at this. And you say, why you care about MTV, IQ? I don't. This is an example, modern day example of book burning, destruction of history, so forth and so on, right? We always used to joke around back in the day and always making comparisons about Cesare Borgia and, you know, the real depictions according to the scriptures of what Christ would have looked like, features wise, you know, the changing of the judges and all that other stuff. We was like, man, get a white man 100 years, man. Michael Jordan is gonna be white. Michael Jackson, they damn near already tried to make a white. You know, all the greats of our people, they're going to take credit for it. So that's how we would also joke around about him changing history. Now look at this. Paramount erases archives of MTV website, wipes music, culture history after 30 years plus. Did you hear that? Anybody who grew up in the quote unquote MTV era, remember the old commercials, man? I want my MTV. They used to have the damn the logo was the astronaut planting the MTV flag on the moon or whatever they was doing. Yo MTV raps and all that. Listen, MTV got absorbed by Paramount and they wiped 30 years of history away. This is modern day book burning. This is modern day cover up of history. This is how the so-called white man makes something that was something no longer. So imagine kids now, if we're here another 30 years and you say, remember MTV, and they're going to try to look it on the internet and nothing is going to be there. You could talk about it. Yeah, I used to watch MTV Raps and all that. That's when stuff was good back in the day. Listen, they've erased that. MTV no longer exists. So sometime down the line, if we're here and you got kids and you talking about good old, that's out of here. And there will be no traces to be able to find it. That's how they destroy our archaeology. That's how they destroy our history. That's how they've been able to destroy the legacies of our writings. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're saying that couldn't happen, how could they ever? Yeah, what? They actively are doing it and did it. Do you understand? First Maccabees 1, and I'm gonna just try to get straight to the point. I'm gonna read 1 and verse 49. First Maccabees 1 and 49. It says, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. So this is after the Greeks came into play. They executed the decree. All nations should be as the Greeks, follow their ways and customs. It said many of the Jews submitted themselves and started following the Greek customs, beginning the Hellenism of our people. And then you had some that was standing strong for the laws and was like, no, we ain't doing it. But this whole scenario was built upon the fact that they wanted Israel to forget our laws and change our ordinances. So no longer will we be keeping Passover and Pentecost and memorial assignment and blowing the trumpets and atonement and tabernacles and so forth. We're exchanging that in modern day terms to New Year's Day. You got Negroes running around right now looking for the best sale on pork ribs so they can go cook them up on July 4th next week. You got Negroes running around trying to get the best deal on whatever abominations they ready to get, throw on the grill, getting ready to spend their last to go buy fireworks. They forgot about the law and changed all the ordinances. Now they talking about Independence Day, July 4th, 1776. Our people were still slaves. What the hell do you what the hell are people talking about independence? You see? Continuing on, it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, should die. So what ended up happening? Our people had to get the heck out of Dodge. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. So looking for comfort, looking for protection. That's the only place our people are going to. This is why you see the big movement about going off grid now, right? This is why you see Israelites, certain Israelites out there talking about investing in land and divesting away from America and the cities and, running to rural areas because of the same type of spirit. They see the walls closing in and they're saying, look, we got to get the hell out these cities, hoods, projects, and ghettos. Man, you don't stand a chance staying up in there when all hell breaks loose. Maybe we want to have a little bit more succor outside in other aspects of the wilderness over here in America. But look at this. And all right, I'm gonna read down. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah and on every side, and burned incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And hold on, this is what I'm talking about. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, so everyone that they were able to find, they were ripping them up, burning them up, destroying them, because they didn't want us to have any record of our laws and ordinances in our existence. They just wanted us to be Hellenized Grecians. You dig what I'm saying? So what they had to do, they had to destroy the history. They burned them with fire. So the ones that they were able to find, they didn't find all of them, obviously, because we're still holding on to the books. But every one that they could find, they destroyed. Alexandria, they had burning book campaigns in Egypt. Verse 57, and whosoever was found with any book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. So this is why I thought this was interesting, because Esau is doing it just on a base level of entertainment. And I think, yeah, you know what? BET got bought out by MTV. So I'm waiting for them to roll on BET. Viacom bought out, owns MTV. MTV bought out BET, all these damn ETs, right? So BET technically is under MTV. I'm wondering if they're going to roll on BET. They're probably going to fall back some, because I think Tyler Perry has a large investment in BET, and he produces a lot of shows on there. So they might be sparing Black entertainment TV, but nonetheless, the fact remains that this is modern day book burning, right? And we see how the so-called white man operates. If he wants something to not exist, he has the ability to do so. Look at this. Patrick Hoskin posted, so MTVnews.com no longer exists. 8 years of my life are gone without a trace. This guy used to work for MTV. They had writers that was contributing to the website, video uploads, everything else. He said 8 years of my life are gone without a trace, all because it didn't fit some executives' bottom lines. Infuriating is too small a word. MTV is gone, kaput, wiped off the face of the earth. This is what they did to us. Psalms 83 says that they were conspiring so that the name of Israel shall be no longer in remembrance. And then when the Israelite men go out there in the highways and the byways and talk about how there's been a conspiracy to destroy our legacy, our knowledge of who we are, so forth and so on. Our people look at us like deers in the headlights and say, nigga, you crazy. What are you talking about? We're Africans. What are you talking? That's the point, man. The truth gets erased, gets distorted, gets destroyed, and then they give you some replacement to how you believe in. So, prime example, here we go. MTV, one of the biggest forms of entertainment over the last 30 years, with the push of a button and a signature on a piece of paper, man, gone. Gone. Parent company Paramount, formerly Viacom, has tossed 20 plus years of news archives. All that's left is a placeholder site for the reality shows. See that? All they want is Jake's investing in watching damn reality TV. And much of that is scripted and nonsense. The M in MTV music is gone, and so is all the reporting and all the journalism performed by music and political writers ever written. It is if MTV never existed. It's the same for VH1.com, all gone. So you get the point. You get the point, man, of what they're doing. Okay. Let's continue on, man. But that was very interesting to me because I'm like, damn, that's everything that they did to Israel. But the Most High said that the earth was going to help the women. We're out here digging up. We get the archaeology, but the preservation of our scriptures, so forth and so on, man. We're digging in, having them find old books and old stuff and old information that confirms the scriptures. The Most High, for us, he left us a trail to follow after, right? But we see what the so-called white man has in his hand. He has in his power, man, to erase whole histories and whole people and legacies. Here we go. Here we go. Bird flu. Finland becomes the first country in the world to start poking up people. Uh-oh. Is it on the rise? Will it extend outside of Finland to the other countries in Europe? Will there be a complete, quote unquote, breakout? That all of a sudden now, could this be the new reason to push pause on the world again? We shall see. But we've been seeing headline after headline about this being the new thing. The last guy, the former head of the cat that worked for the World Health Organization, he said, no, he was from the CDC. He said, yeah, I think this is going to be the next one, the next big one. I know how they operate. I was in there. I was pushing the buttons. See? Here we go. Finland plans to offer preemptive bird flu jabs as soon as next week to some workers with exposure to animals, according to health authorities. Isn't that nice? Fears the new most dangerous Mpox. You know what that is? The monkeypox strain could cross the borders. See, these are the snares. These are the things they bubbling up. What are we going to do? Could it be the Mpox or the most dangerous one? It's getting ready to cross the borders. Look at that. A deadlier strain of Mpox that transmits more easily between people is killing children and causing miscarriages in the Democratic Republic of Congo and may have already spread to neighboring countries, researchers have warned. You know, the two ground zero spots, man, for these plagues that come out, they always coming out of Africa or they're coming out of China. You know, so here we see it. Plagues, pestilence on the rise, and will the so-called white man capitalize on it to impose some political posturing? You dang right he will. He's done it already. Look what Slow Biden's up to, though. Biden pardons veterans convicted under military's ban on gay sex. Kids, close your ears. President Biden on Wednesday pardoned veterans who were convicted and forced out of the military because of a former law that banned gay sex, including between consenting adults. Slow Biden out here pandering to the LGBTQ plus HIV. They got some more stuff they added on there right now. AI. You dig what I'm saying? Like pandering to them, hoping to get some votes over on that end. saying, hey, you know what? You guys come in the military, man, shoot down that Hershey Highway all you want to. Clean the carpets as much as you want to. You know, that shouldn't be a reason that you can't come in and serve. We're about to hit World War III. We need all hands on deck, transmissions included. Why it matters. Biden's clemency will extend to thousands of former military service members who were convicted of the former Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 125, while it was in effect from the 1950s to 2013. What they're saying today, I am righting an historic wrong by using my clemency authority to pardon many former service members who were convicted simply for being themselves, Biden said in a statement. Isn't that nice of him? So now the free-for-all in modern-day Sodom is in full flare, man. Thanks to Slow Biden and his predecessor, Obama. Oh, look, here we go. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. While the so-called black man is sitting back saying, what black jobs? What Hispanic jobs are you talking about you created and you helped us? Oh, black unemployment is the lowest under my presidency since Medicare. What? He swore up and down, man. He didn't give you niggas jobs. He doing the best for Jake out there in the streets. They can't tell. Ain't nobody crediting Slow Biden with no dang jobs. Give me a break, man. Most of the jobs that's been created is part-time jobs in the service industry, man, and they all are unsustainable with the way the inflation and the economy is going. Give me a break. Biden's shocking new trans policy for kids. Hello? Kids. Pushed by his controversial health secretary. Look who's pushing it, though. This creature right here, man, looking like something straight out of the Rocky Horror films. President Slow Biden's health team wants to completely eliminate age limitations for children. Did you hear that? This creature right here was given authority by Slow Biden. And this creature right here is saying, I want your kids. His health team wants to completely eliminate age limitations for children to receive care to help them transition genders. Email excerpts reveal that Biden's point of person on transmission issues transgender issues urged the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, WPATH, i.e. Warpath. It means the Transformers are on a warpath right now, to drop age requirements for transition and gender affirming care. The revelations can't come just as the Supreme Court said this week it would take on a case in its next term that examines if a Tennessee ban on transgender treatment and surgery for minors is constitutional. They said they wanted no age limitations, right? 5 years old, put them on hormones, put them on estrogen and estrogen treatments, you know. Hell, why not start them out the womb, man? I mean, if there's eliminate age limitations, I mean, how far would these demons not go? I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. And this is what they operate. And this is what's going on in secret. This is the stuff they saying, who's going to see us? Remember that we was reading earlier in Psalms? Demons. Let's move on. U.S. Supreme Court won't curb Biden administration's social media contacts. See, this is the stuff that's going on. While, yeah, everybody's laughing at him for what he's doing on stage and not doing on stage and everything else, right? But look at this. This is going to affect, quote unquote, free speech. This is going to affect your ability to communicate over these social media platforms, our ability to do so. This is why I was just talking to a brother yesterday, man. The last two DSTMs I did, the YouTube stopped them and said we got to put age restrictions on them. Okay. But you haven't done that before. Well, they've done it before, but why all of a sudden are they coming through auditing with the bots my videos? Is interesting because once they slap them age restrictions on, that pretty much means we're going to shadow ban your videos. We're not sending them out no more. According to YouTube guidelines, that just means that anyone under 18 can't watch DSTM, and anyone that's not logged into YouTube or have an account can't watch it either. So they're automatically saying we're limiting the viewership on two fronts, but I'm sure that extends into everything else, man. They pretty much stopped the momentum of anything building and growing. That's why, when people saying, hey, man, like, share, all that other stuff, it's because there's powers that be that, forcibly stop. So the only thing you can do to avoid that is to manually push things. So Lord knows they doing that here. Y'all just seen them just cut the damn thing off. But it is what it is. This is important though because this involves social media. This is where everybody's locked in. If you remember, the World Health, the World IDs, proposed by the World Economic Forum involves the QR codes and everything else locked into the phones that will have you be able to have access to social media. If y'all remember that grid and chart I shown multiple times. Now you got Slow Biden saying, passing it through the Supreme Court, that the government can get involved with social media platforms and control elements of speech backed by the government. So, stuff that you can say and can't do, they're already trying to get rid of TikTok. That's already been signed off. I think they got to the end of the year to either figure out if they're going to sell it or if they're just going to ban it. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. Right? Look at this. The Supreme Court declined on Wednesday to impose limits on the way President Joe Biden's administration may communicate with social media platforms. Communicate with social media platforms, rejecting a challenge made on free speech grounds to how officials encourage the removal of posts deemed misinformation, including about elections and the divide. Ironically, what's coming up now? An election. He's trying to control what can and can't be said on there, what posts can be posted and can't be posted on there. And the Supreme Court denied a challenge made on free speech and said, nope, you ain't got free speech on this. Government rules. Meanwhile, he's running around talking about how Trump's going to be a dictator. They both got the same, objectives. Slow Biden is just slicker in how he gets it across because he looks so old and feeble, man. Don't nobody look at him like he's a high damn witch demon. It is what it is. He wants the kids to have no limits on age restrictions, to be able to cross dress and get sexual transitional treatments, no ages. He said, yeah, go ahead and do that. Telling the military, man, we're pardoning you. You can go ahead and get it on in the bedroom, do whatever you want to do. Now he's saying, I want to be able to impose our will on these so-called free speech platforms and social media and tell them what they can allow and can't allow on their platforms. If everybody remembers a year and some change ago when Zuckerberg was in that congressional hearing and he popped up and apologized and said, yeah, the FBI told us that we had to say that the laptop was Russian disinformation, and yes, we were told that we couldn't allow certain things about the vaccine and stuff. They're controlled, man. All of this stuff. And you got the Supreme Court backing it up. This is how you know when the scriptures say, man, it's going to be a famine of the word, but not of bread, but a hearing the word of the Most High. This is how you know when Second Ezra, the 5th chapter, I believe, speaks about the word of the Most High being restricted and stopped, because now he knows, man, he can't stop this word that's going out there, but he's damn sure going to try to lock it down as best as he can. So look, The justices in a 6-3 ruling overturned the lower court's 2023 decision that various federal officials likely violated the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment, which protects against governmental abridgment of free speech in a case brought by the states of Missouri and Louisiana and 5 individuals. The New Orleans-based Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals had issued an injunction constraining such contacts by the administration. The justices ruled that the plaintiff did not have the required legal standing to sue the administration in federal court. So they're getting ready to move on. They just got approval from the Supreme Court, man, signed into law. The government now is communicating with social media platforms and telling them what's considered free speech and what isn't, what they're going to deem as misinformation, what isn't going to be deemed as misinformation. So don't be surprised if you start seeing more social media, people on social media having their channels flagged, restricted, banned, removed, gone completely. You know, get it while the getting's good, man. If you're able to record these DSTM, do that, because they're getting ready to, you know, ramp it up. And it's always around election time, man. Slow Biden don't want nobody standing in his way. Let's move on. Look at this. Supreme Court makes a shock ruling on the homeless crisis. What does this mean? Supreme Court decided on Friday that cities can enforce bans on homeless people sleeping outdoors, even in West Coast areas where shelter space is lacking. So now they're getting ready to ban people, all the little tent cities and all of the homeless encampments and everything else, getting ready to ban them, clean them up off the streets, get them up out of there, right? With nowhere to go, no place to go. Meanwhile, there was over $20 billion that Governor Newsom and the rest of his constituents couldn't account for that was supposed to go towards the homeless crisis. Where's that money? I did see that they did build a nice little luxury apartment that I think has 200 units or something like that. They're all either singles or one bedrooms, but you got to, you know, basically be adjoined to the system if you're going to get up in there. They got one of them built after all this time. And it was like, there's more. There's others on the way, you know. Meanwhile, what are they doing? Backdooring everybody that got put out of their jobs, out on the streets, strung out on drugs, same places that they're allowing drug-free zones, telling people you can go shoot up and do what you need. If you need a kit, come holler at us. Now they just saying, well, we're getting ready to ban homeless people. So where are these people going to go? We're going to see. Now this gives even more plausible reasoning as to why they're building up these camps and detention centers. You're going to have to put them somewhere outside of, you know, the dissidents, the people that they consider dissidents and seditious people, you know. Look, more than 650,000 people are estimated to be homeless, the most in the country since began using a nearly point-in-time survey in 2007. Nearly half of them sleep outside, older adults, LGBTQ plus people, and this is why I highlighted that people of color are disproportionately affected, advocates said. So who's it going to hit the most, man? Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. They getting ready to try to clean Jakes up off them streets. They want Jakes out of here, man. So the Supreme Court has already backed it and said we're going to ban people sleeping outdoors and on the grounds, you know. And they sitting back trying to pander for votes, man, saying, look how great we're doing. Look how much we love you Negroes. You know? This is how, let me give one precept in Job 24, real quick. Job 24 and read verse 7. Job 24:7 says, they cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. See, this are, you know, everybody done seen it, man. The homeless crisis is out of control. You know, they're even trying to make it cool now to live in a car, live in a van, and, you know, they're banning those places, man. You can't pull up and park your camper van or pull up and park your trailer and everything else. They're banning those places, man, telling people get up out of here. You can't pull over and park here. Go somewhere else, or we're going to ticket you. We're going to impound your car, whatever. All the 10 cities, man, once they started extending out, going up into Beverly Hills and all that, they was like, oh, hell no. We got to get rid of it. Then they said, well, you got $24 billion. Where's the money at? Oh, we don't know. But we're trying to figure that out. Hold on. An audit finds California spent $24 billion on homelessness in 5 years, didn't consistently track outcomes. So they got no idea where and how the money got spent. Where's it going to? $24 billion. Gavin Newsom about missing $24 billion spent on tackling homelessness. This is why the Lord said they caused the naked to lie without clothing. They line in their pockets, man. $24 billion and you can't find out what happened to it? Let you file your taxes, man, and you come up short on $1,000, man, you get audited, all hell breaks loose. They garnishing your wages, man. They locking your butt up. They lose $24 billion, and all they can say is, I don't know. We'll look into that. Now get the hell away from us. Continuing on, they cause the naked to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains and embrace the rock for want of shelter. See that? Sleeping on the floors, man, on the grounds. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. Still everything gets taxed. Every little dollar that you get, cats out there, man, talking about you work for food, you panhandling out there on the streets, man. Every little bit of money that you get, you run off, you go buy it, buy a drink, buy something to eat, this, that, and the third, man, buy a blanket. They're taking a pledge from the poor, man. Oh, that's tax. Don't nobody care if you homeless and you need that extra little change. That we need our pledge too. See, this is what they're up to, man. So the Supreme Court said, man, we're getting ready to ban them people out there on the streets. As big as a crisis as it is, and meanwhile, we'll still send more billions to Ukraine. Or we're going to send some more money to Israel. But you can't be out on the streets, man. Too bad. Tough luck. Look at this. Oklahoma farmers sound alarm on Chinese-owned weed farms, taking over their own with workers armed with AK-47s, using fake Amazon trucks to distribute cannabis. Chinese done invaded, man. They're in cahoots with the cartels. They're slanging weed. Negroes is loving going to these damn dispensaries and buying imported weed from China. Who knows what's going on? We know that the fentanyl and everything else is coming through them. You just want to keep getting high and want to go satisfy your escapism lust, man. We need something to get us up, get us out of here. Take my mind to another place. I want to hallucinate a little bit. Chinese farms, man, is out here slinging weed now. Unbelievable. And they're in cahoots with the cartels. I think it was CBS did a report on that with the fentanyl and the weed. They had arrested, they did a raid, man. It was an old Chinese couple, man, that was in cahoots with the cartels, man. They exchanging pesos and yuan together, man, doing exchanges, getting the money up. I mean, they doing all kind of stuff. But there you go. Stranger that's within, he's going to get up above the very high, and outside come down very low. The biggest migrants coming over here is the Chinese. They're taking full advantage. Moab comes right in and gets right on the bike and gets the pedaling, So here you go. Look at it. The housing market is stuck until at least 2026. Bank of America warns help may not be on the way for first-time home buyers, frustrated by high mortgage rates and even higher home prices. Remember last year when Jakes was so happy talking about how much Bank of America was helping them with first-time home buyers? Oh, they're giving us no down payment loans, and low interest and blah, blah, blah. And they want us all in houses. Remember last year I told y'all that? And I shared that article. I said, man, watch. They setting Jakes up, man. They're going to put you out there and give you these give you these loans that you can't pay back. People was foreclosing on their homes, losing their homes and everything else. Now here we see it. Even more proof. A gift destroyeth the heart, y'all. You know, never trust our enemy. Last year they was praising Negroes out there praising Bank of America. Look, they want niggas in houses. Oh, they want to make sure you guys are new home buyers and investors in America, and they love you. Really? Now they double back and say, yeah, we know we qualified you, man. You didn't have an income, you didn't have nothing, everything was great, and you thought you was getting ready to get you a house. But you can't get no house right now. Mortgage rates are too high, interest rates too high, nobody's selling. And the fools that did jump up in there, man, a lot of them end up foreclosing and losing the houses. When the inflation kept jumping up, man. And the interest rates on their loans got boosting up and their mortgage rates is going up. And they like, hold on. We thought we had a deal here. Well, guess who the biggest covenant breaker is? The so-called white man. Economists at Bank of America warned this week that the U.S. housing market is, quote, stuck, and we are not convinced it will become unstuck until 2026 or later. The bank said home prices will stay high and go even higher. The housing shortage will persist, and mortgage rates will not fall much, even if the Federal Reserve finally delivers long-delayed interest rate cuts. Here goes the article right here. Remember this? Bank of America offers 0 down payment mortgages in certain Black and Hispanic communities. Oh, because they love you, Jake, so much. I said last year, it was 2022. Damn, time is flying. 2022, we talked about this. 2023, you go look it up, you can see how many of the foreclosures, how many people was foreclosing on their homes because of the interest rates and people got set up. 2022, you have people qualifying, getting these loans, man, and now they sitting back saying this market is dead. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't nothing moving till at least 2026 or later. Prices is up. You can't even utilize this damn thing that you got. The Bank of America is offering 0 down payment mortgages with no closing costs for the first-time home buyers in certain Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, and a new program designed to chip away at inequality in the housing market. So they try to put it out there. Oh, we love you. We want you to be all right. We're going to help you be a first-time home buyer. No down payment, no closing costs, only for you Blacks and Hispanics, man, because we love you so much. The new loan launched this week requires no minimum credit score. Oh, you got a 400, 550? Honey, don't worry about it. We got you. Because Bank of America, Bank of Babylon loves you niggas. You think that's the case? Sirach 12 and 10 tells us the standard in which we should be living by. Never trust our enemy, man. Ecclesiastes 7:7, man, a gift destroyeth the heart. Bribery disrupts judgment. You understand what I'm saying? The new loan launched this week requires no minimum credit score nor mortgage insurance. You don't even need insurance. No down payment, no closing costs, low credit. That's exactly who we looking for. You Blacks and Hispanics, man, has been downtrodden and lost and forgotten all these years. We want to help you. Really? Continuing on. New loan launched this week requires no minimum credit score nor mortgage insurance, which lenders typically charge when borrowers put up less than 20% down. Instead of a traditional credit score, first-time buyers will be evaluated based on their history of making timely payments for rent, utilities, phone service, and auto insurance. Where do they target? Hispanics and Blacks in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, LA, and Miami. 2 years ago, they was promoting this, man. If anybody got these, they may have lost their homes already, or they're stuck with a qualified loan, but can't do nothing with it because the market is jacked up. Sold you a dream and you can't even wake up from it. Let's move on. At its limit, Mexico's buckling grid threatens nearshoring. Mexico's power grid is on the brink of collapse. We've seen blackouts in whole countries, everywhere from Ecuador to Nicaragua. Well, you can see what's going on, man. There's an energy crisis that's going to be happening. If you ain't prepared, man, lights go out at some point in time in your city, state, whether it's from weather or whether it's from a buckling grid or whether because the grid got attacked, who knows? Don't be surprised because clearly there's a rolling trend of power failures happening to entire countries somehow, some way. Wink, wink. Oklahoma superintendent announces all schools must incorporate the Bible and the Ten Commandments in curriculums. Shocking that America would go back to, or at least Oklahoma would go back to its quote unquote roots of being a biblically founded nation, But meanwhile, they can read the Ten Commandments. They ain't telling them to follow it. They ain't telling them to read the rest of the books. They ain't telling our people who we are. So again, this is another little setup to try to put lipstick on a pig. But at least I got to give credit where credit is due. At least they're standing on some sort of biblical principle for the kids, as opposed to the rest who are trying to teach drag queen story time, who are talking about no pronouns and non-binary and going to whatever bathroom you want to. Me and Aladab was just talking about them. Got state budgets now. I've known about it, but it's being enforced even more in the public school systems here in California, where they're putting tampons in the boys' bathrooms now. And that's been going on for a hot second, but they're talking about how it's pretty much watered down, money down the drain because the kids are taking the tampons out and wetting them up and throwing them and slinging them on the ceilings and doing all kind of foolishness with them. So at least Oklahoma is saying, man, we got to get these damn Ten Commandments off at least before everything else collapses, But I give credit where credit is due, Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the choir. If they tell them to read it, but let's get them to follow it. You dig what I'm saying? Let's not be robotic about it, right? Oklahoma schools are required to incorporate the Bible and the Ten Commandments in the curriculums effective immediately. The state's chief education officer announced in a memorandum Thursday at a state board education meeting. Oklahoma State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters said the Bible is, quote, one of the most foundational documents used for the Constitution and the birth of our country. It's crystal clear to us that in Oklahoma academic standards under the Title 70 on multiple occasions, the Bible is a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country, to have a complete understanding of Western civilization, to have an understanding of the basis of our legal system, Walters said. So, obviously they're going to teach you with a spin to defend Babylon, but at least if they teach them commandments, man, that might do a little good for Jakes. Who knows? Electric vehicle owners, man, they got buyer's remorse. Me and I'll be talking about that all the time. They want to send them back, man. They ain't liking them. As much as that's part of the quote unquote Green New Deal, California done pushed hard to get rid of gas cars, penalizing. What's so funny? California done pushed this whole EV banning gas, right? But because they have so many people complying with buying electric, they now are running short on gas taxes and everything else. So now that the money's coming short, they're proposing a mileage taxation on people with electric vehicles. You get taxed by the mile. I think it's 12 cents. I think it is 12 cents. I can't recall, but it is a gas tax that they're proposing, that if you got an electric vehicle, to make up for the lost money that they were charging on gas taxes, because everybody was so good servants and slaves, man. They said, well, okay, man, boss said we got to go electric, cash in, we're going electric. They go get electric, and now they're saying, well, we're not getting money from the gas taxes no more because everybody's riding electric. Well, we got to get money somehow. Per mile tax, they're proposing. If you got an electric vehicle, you can't win for losing with this guy, man. I didn't want to extend this too much longer, but let me jump over here, man. Look at it. Caltrans pilot program test replacing gas tax with a charging per mile tax. See that? California roads are maintained through gas tax revenue, but that's dwindling with the increase of electric vehicles. So yeah, you've been told this is what you need to do. Go get an EV. Then when you do it, they penalize you for doing it. Then you wonder why we say, and the Most High says he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's the deceiver. I mean, hello? Need we say anymore? I'm not gonna play that report, but that's just what it is. So because that's the case, now you got people saying, I don't like it. I don't want it. What's the problems? Charging infrastructure not yet good enough. Total cost of ownership is too high. Driving patterns on long distance trips too much impacted. You know, you want to drive out of state, driving somewhere, you got to pull over, you got to charge up, you got to a lot time to get it. You know, for people who got normal routines, you staying within the city, the confines, it could be a benefit. But if you got long commutes, if you frequent and you bought it to say, well, I'm gonna save time because you know when I want to drive up north or I want to go here up, that ain't for that. You know, it ain't gonna help you with that. Can't charge at home, needing to worry about charging, it's too stressful, changing mobility requirements, do not like the driving experience. So, you know, multiple reasons why a lot of people are turning their back on EVs, man, and that now is going to cause problems for California and other states pushing this Green New Deal about how they need to, you know, save the earth from pollutions and gas and everything else because people are revolting. You got a number of companies are stopping producing them. So this is just some more stuff, man, that gets put out there. And it's unbelievable how they react to it. We tell you to do it, you do it, and then you get penalized for doing it. Unreal. It was a 7.2 earthquake in Peru yesterday. That goes on. Wasn't a lot of damage. Well, it wasn't no deaths. So that's why it didn't make major news like that. But hey, man, we're still listening and watching for earthquakes in diverse places. The magnitude alone, 7.2. That's major, man. If the infrastructure wasn't what it was, that would cause damage in any other place. Shut down. That's a heavy one. How's the economy doing? Walgreens plans major U.S. store closures. CVS's are closing. Walgreens are closing. What's that mean for grandma that's on high blood pressure meds? What's that mean for Unc that's got diabetes? What's that mean for Lil John that's got asthma that needs his inhalers? Or the Walgreens is around the corner now is closed. You got to go drive another 20 minutes to the next nearest one. And that one might be getting closed down. Access to these particular things, you know, is going to impact our communities. I played a video last year of CVS's and pharmacies closing in Boston neighborhoods, which were primarily inhabited by Jakes. And it was like, damn, some of the elderly people don't have cars. They're like, how are we supposed to get to the pharmacies? I used to be able to take the bus. I can't do it no more because the nearest pharmacy is in a whole nother town. So CVS, now Walgreens is following suit. And they're cutting off one of their medical providers, Village MD, that they used to fulfill prescriptions for. So if you're wondering if America is collapsing, remember even in Jeremiah, I think it's 48, it says that we'll go to Babylon for bomb and there's no cures. This is how we know this is Babylon, man, and this place is collapsing and shutting down. So pharmacies, pharmaceuticals, all that shutting down. 8,600 stores of Walgreens nationwide done. See, I made mention of that. Now I want to go there. Shalaki, y'all. And that's in Jeremiah. Oops, Shalaki. Jeremiah 46:11 says, go up unto Gilead and take balm, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. So when the Most High lays down plagues on us, man, there's going to be various medicines that thought to be working, ain't going to be working, ain't going to be happening, right? And they're not going to be available. There's not going to be no cures because you can't get them, right? So Walgreens shutting down. Here goes a couple more. Walmart suddenly closing more stores in 2024. This is a June 24th. This is not a repeat article that was talking about Walmart's closing earlier this year and the end of last year. Walmart is closing even more. And we know how much Jake rely on Walmart. What else did Jake rely on? Family Dollar and Dollar Tree will close 1,000 stores. You thought losing 99-cent stores was hard. Now Family Dollar and Dollar Tree is closing 1,000 stores worldwide. I mean, not worldwide, nationwide. Hey, but Slow Biden said, man, the economy is great, man. The dollar's the strongest it's ever been. You look at the stock market, man, it can do no wrong. They're manipulating, cooking the books, man, the whole nine. Everybody sees that you live in a day-to-day life, man. You walk outside and you saying, man, I'm living check to check. The resources that I had, even in these food deserts, man, is shutting down. You got these damn fast food places now. They're charging an arm and a leg, and they're losing money. So now they're battling over $5 meals that they're offering people, and people's complaining about that. I've been looking online. They talking about McDonald's got a $5 meal, and they're battling with somebody else that got a $5 meal, and then people are saying it ain't really $5 because after taxes and you got to buy something else, it's really $7. I mean, when people are stressing like that, well, they like, man, I came in expecting to pay $5. Now I got to pay $7. Like, hell no. $2 means a lot. Straight up. I've seen them articles, man. A few people tweeting and talking about, man, this is ridiculous. They're deceiving us. You know, Walmart shutting down. Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, man. I mean, hey, I know this was a long one, y'all. Hopefully edifying. Without the the interruption of Satan came in, man, and shut the communications off, man. But Lord willing, man, everybody got some edification today and some information to run with, man, and some understanding regarding where we need to be at in these days and times, man. Being wise as serpents, harmless as doves, man, fear the Most High, keeping the commandments, doing what's necessary for us to hold on to them crowns, man. You know, Revelation 3 tells us, man, you got a crown. You got to hold fast to that which thou have, man. Don't let it be snatched away from you. Because they damn sure going to be working hard, man, to get us up out of here. And those that can't get rid of us, man, is going to fall right in line in obedience with the beast. All right. So I'm going to get on out of here, man. And we'll give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while Yahweh Shai, man. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm out of here, but we'll be back with our closing Shabbat class, man, around 4:10, somewhere around there, man. Lord will, to continue edifying, man, till the Shabbat is done on our end, man. So other than that, man, y'all be well. Shabbat shalom.